Hi guys. Sorry I haven't done a video in a long time. Um, it's probably because my last video, part 1 of my movie collection, was too long. But I promise this video will be shorter. I promise you. But this video is going to be my review for Hunger Games: Catching Fire. Yeah, I got a chance to see Catching Fire today. I didn't go yesterday because I knew the theater would be packed. So I went today, and here to share my thoughts on the film with you. Alright, now, when I went to see the first Hunger Games in March of last year, I said to myself, it was okay, nothing too spectacular. I have not read the books, just let me make that clear right now. Most of my friends have, and they love them, but yeah, I haven't read the books, I've just seen the movies. I didn't really like the first one that much. But after seeing Catching Fire, I think I want to see the first one again now. Because Catching Fire, I think, was better than the first. Yeah, I know. And I wrote down 5 things that I thought really were improved from the first one to now in Catching Fire. One thing that really stands out in Catching Fire is great cinematography. Cinematography in Catching Fire, I think, is absolutely brilliant. The opening shot of Catching Fire is basically a sky shot of a forest in District 12, and it's winter time, and the lighting is so well handled. It's dim when it needs to be, it's bright when it needs to be. Cinematography in this is absolutely beautiful, it's perfect. Even though I think the one movie of this year that had the best cinematography was Only God Forgives. But anyway, another thing that stood out was good acting. Now, the acting is not spectacular, but it's still pretty good. Jennifer Lawrence is still great as Katniss. Josh Hutcherson is okay as Peeta, but he doesn't really get that much screen time in this. Woody Harrelson, I think, is my favorite part as Hamish. He's really my favorite character. And there are some new characters in this. And, they're okay. But what's interesting about this movie is that Katniss and Peeta go into the next Hunger Games, the 75th. And this time they're not fighting a bunch of kids, they're fighting previous winners of previous Hunger Games. And that's the really interesting part. Some of the older winners are played by great actors, like Jeffery Wright is in this. Seymour Hoffman kind of makes a small appearance as an assistant to President Snow. What's his name? Donald Sutherland actually is, I think, better than he was in the first one as President Snow. He just seems more evil in this one. Yeah, the acting is actually pretty good. I mean, definitely there's no Oscar-worthy performances in this, but it's still very good. Next thing that I really liked about Catching Fire was that Catching Fire, I think, had a much more darker and serious tone than the first movie did. And that's what the thing that I appreciate about it most, is that the drama in this movie is kind of escalated to the point where it actually kind of affected me in certain ways, because the drama in this movie is very close to how things are in real life. That this movie kind of has a message about real life in the sense that politicians just like to control people. It's insane, because the government of the capital in this movie is so corrupt to the point where you just want to say, these people aren't getting the freedom that they deserve, and that's what I really like about Catching Fire is that it kind of had a message about what real life is. Yeah. Next up, excellent production design. The production design in this movie, I think, was honestly better than it was in the first. I mean, the sets, the costumes are beautiful to look at, especially the costumes. Yes, this movie takes place in the future, but the costumes are so nice to look at, to be honest, and look good on the actors. I think the person who stands out the most as far as the costumes goes, Effie Trinket. I mean, she's always wearing bizarre outfits. Sorry, I'm kind of tired. Next up, the last thing that I really loved about Catching Fire was the ending. Now, I will not spoil the ending to those of you who haven't seen the movie yet, or if you've read the book, you probably already know. But the ending to this movie was absolutely perfect. It was a great cliffhanger to the next one. And honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to the next one. And Mockingjay, they're splitting that up into 2 parts, of course. Why does that happen nowadays? I mean, they did that with Harry Potter. They did that with Twilight. Why do they have to split up the last movie into 2 parts? You know, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, so overall, I think Catching Fire was a massive improvement over the first Hunger Games. It was more dark. It was more serious. It had messages about real life. The cinematography and production design was just improved over the first. Oh, and in case you're wondering, there is no shaky cam in this movie at all. No shaky cam whatsoever. And to be honest, I think this is one of the best movies of the year, to be honest. I know, it's kind of weird for me saying it, since I'm not a big fan of Hunger Games, but yeah, I'm serious. So I would give this like a 4 out of 5, to be honest. So in other words, I will give Hunger Games Catching Fire a friggin' awesome rating. I'm surprised I'm saying that because this actually has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's crazy. That's a higher score than the first one got. I read some critics said this is the Empire Strikes Back of the Hunger Games franchise. And when I read that review, I said to myself, okay, if this guy's comparing it to Empire Strikes Back, it must be good. And it was. I mean, obviously not as good as Empire Strikes Back, but it was still very good. But anyway, alright, so that was my review for Hunger Games Catching Fire. I don't know if I'll do another video in a while. I don't know if I should continue with my movie collection videos because the first one was way too long. Actually, no, I'm going to try to delete that video. Wait, can you delete YouTube videos? Let me know in the comments if you can delete a YouTube video that you've made. Anyway, bye.